All right, we will jump back to the KCAL or the KCAL, as I heard today for the first time. And we have with us Sumner Academy. Sumner is coached by Moses Wyatt. His first year on the job. Last year, Sumner went 10-12 overall. That's not right. 5-4, 6-4, maybe in the KCL, and they earned a state berth last year to the state playoffs. So we welcome Sumner Academy and Coach Wyatt.
Good evening. First, just wanted to say thank you. It's a little funny being on this side of the mic this time, but really appreciative that you had us here. Our first few weeks of practice this year have been okay. We've just been working on trying to get in shape. We want to play fast. We want to get up and down the floor. We want to be able to pressure the ball. We want to have a lot of fun playing basketball the right way. I think everything and everybody is starting to buy in. After our game we had Friday, we won a tough game. It was kind of ugly. We had a lot of mistakes, didn't execute well, but we fought really hard. We ended up winning by 6, but I think we kind of understood why in practice the emphasis is being able to execute and doing the little things right. I have with me today a freshman, Saadique Perkins. I have a junior, Derek Sykes, and then I brought assistant coach Vincent Smith, because I think that is one of the things and what our outlook on the season is that we want to become better individual basketball players, to be able to become a better team. And that's what I think our coaching staff, along with Ed Corporal, I think that's what we bring. We bring an ability to teach the game in the right way and be able to develop players.
You went old school with a coaching staff. I didn't know you had Corporal too. Talk a little bit about what type of style you want to present as a head coach and what we'll see from Sumner this year.
Well, I think you'll see us play fast. That's one thing, and I think you'll see us attack the rim. That's what our philosophy is: attack the rim, try to make every player lay up. We want to be a defensive team first, and we want to let defense lead our offense. And so that's kind of what things that we are emphasizing, is being a good, solid defensive team. And then trying to play fast. We want to see, can you run with us? We want to get up and down.
Right. You talk a lot about the foundation from, we talked with you obviously over the years, what we do with Coach Springs and kind of, taking over that tradition at Sumner. Talk a little bit about, that. I almost look at it as an honor taking over the job at Sumner and, following in his footsteps.
Well, I do look at it as an honor. I feel like I started this summer. That was how I started my coaching career. And so to be able to come back, it's like going home. And so it really feels good to be able to come back to Sumner and try to do some of the things that I was taught from Coach Springs, and then get back to what even the previous coach, Coach Parr, state champion, so to really try to get back to that. But even so, now having Ed Corporal back, who was also on that coaching staff with Coach Springs, having him there is just more of getting back. And I feel honored. I feel honored with these guys that we have. I think we have a really good team. We're really talented, really fast. And now it's just time to just learn how to fight and play basketball.
So, Derek, talk a little bit about your role now, with this team. Been a junior and one of the leaders, 3-year starter now. Talk about some of your expectations you have as a leader now of this program.
Some of my expectations will have to be just leading by example, vocally and physically. And that mainly starts with being in shape. So my expectation is just for us to play hard, make mistakes while playing hard. That's probably the best mistakes to make, because you ain't never going to have a perfect game. So it's just everybody play hard on the same page, just make a mistake playing hard, and we good.
Let's go to one of your assistant coaches that you have with you. You mentioned kind of wanting to get back to growing individually as players. And, of course, I know this gentleman, but he's probably one of the, best one-on-one players kind of come out of this area. So kind of talk about his role with the team and kind of what's the expectations you lay on him, and what expectations do you have been in that role with working with these players to help develop their individual games?
Well, first I'm going to start. Vincent was like my first call before I even got an interview. We talk. We go way back, good friends. We've worked in basketball for years together. And so.
And he answered the call? Because he don't answer when I call.
What? You must have went to Sligo. No, but we had talked about it. We have, to be honest, for years we've talked about an opportunity to give back to our community, whatever school it was, and to be able to give what we've learned in basketball. And so expectations from him was just to be Vincent Smith, to teach the kids how to play basketball and how to win. That's one thing that he's always been, as a winner. And that's what we have to learn to do, because winning is not just turn the switch on. Winning is how you wake up in the morning, how you go to sleep, how you put your pants on, how you practice every day, how you go to class, And the one thing he said to me, he said, well, we need blue chippers. He didn't say anything about athletes. He said we need blue chippers. And a blue chipper is someone that not only has athlete but has academics, And so that's what my expectations for him is, to teach them how to be student athletes.
Hello. I've pretty much taken on a role of, I do the team thing, but I also underlining role of getting with players and trying to make them better with their strengths. You know what I mean? A lot of individual work, player development. That's my main role. And anything else, we kind of think alike, a lot alike actually, as far as basketball. We've been around the same game, so being able to assist him is easy. But I'm starting to fall into the main role of, developing this guy, being the other eye for him. Something he may miss, or developing a guy that might be missing just this, between being JV and varsity, that type of thing. So glad to be here.
What's your assessment so far? Like this young man here, Derek, been playing since he was a freshman. What are your thoughts on where he is right now and what the potential he could be going into this season?
Never been pushed, ever, from what I've seen. He's never been pushed mentally. I'm gonna go ahead and say physically either. So I think once he can understand, like he said, winning is learned. So when he can understand, how to win mentally first, I think he'd be all right.
So Saadique, a lot of hype with you coming out, as a freshman, done real well in AAU as well. Talk a little bit about your transition here to varsity basketball and playing at Sumner.
Same game. It's just a little bigger kids, older kids, basically. It's actually kind of fun. School ball is pretty fun. And it's just a good experience, and I'm just getting used to it. And the only thing that's really different between AAU and school ball is just the refereeing. I got to get used to, my defense, but that'll come along. I'm a smart kid. I'll adjust to it.
So kind of touching back on the comments you made about Derek a little bit, one of the things, because I'm in the press, so I can throw out disses and things like that, but I kind of challenged you last year about toughness. And you played football this year, which I think helps kind of bring that toughness. So talk a little bit about what football did for you this year and maybe how that transitioning over to the basketball court.
Football, it was just something to pass time by. I did it to keep me right academically out of trouble, just to do something, but it also helped me stay in some type of shape. And coming in, transition from football to basketball was hard because it's physical. You can hurt somebody legally, but here you can't even touch them. You look at them wrong, the refs are blowing their whistle, so it's a hard transition, but I'm getting used to it.
Coach, talk a little bit about your expectations you have for this team as you progress through the season. With the league, first of all, then maybe talk about long term.
Well, we know that Washington is the big dog. We know that. And so, everybody's shooting for Washington, but what we're shooting for is to compete every night. And we're shooting to be the best Sumner basketball team that we can be. So my expectations is that we first in practice learn how to compete in practice. We have to learn how to play at a high level so that it translates into the game. And then we got to make sure that we're in team shape. And so we try to do as much running as we can. They like to do this thing called down 20. So we try to get that in as much as we can. But that's my expectation, just to compete really, really hard and learn how to win. And yes, we want to challenge for a league. We want to win a league title, but we're learning how to play the right way. And we're going to try to, compete every night and try to put ourselves in a position to do that. Another expectation is at a 10-12 last year, ending up, they went to state. So that's always an expectation, is that we put ourselves playing the right type of basketball so that we can get a chance to go downstate and compete there. So those are our expectations.
So got Saadique and Derek here. Talk a little bit about some of the other players. The name you sent me for your leading scorer in the game, I had never even heard of before. Talk about some of the other players on the team. Who?
Well, we have Jalen Taylor. He's a sophomore. He did good for us Friday night. Got in a little foul trouble, but he had 9 points. Then we have Sean Rainey. He's a very tremendous athlete, football player. But his energy level is just really high. He led us in rebounds with 7 rebounds. He'll be real key to our success. Vance Jackson came in. He played JV, but he came in at the end of our varsity game and gave us a boost and really kind of put us over the edge to get us to where we got the victory. Theron Sanders played a nice role. He's going to be a solid player for us as well. We're looking to, as soon as we can, get back our general, Johns Marshall. He's on injured reserve right now. So we're hoping to try to have him back by time league starts or late January. But that's one of the pieces we're missing. Brandon Byers did a good job. He's a senior. He did a good job at starting at the point guard for us. It was a little rough, his first varsity game for a lot of them. So it's a little rough for him, but I think we kind of learned. And then we got Marvin Ellis, first varsity game. He's a senior as well. He's a high-energy kid, great attitude, flies around, but just got to learn, the discipline of where to move.
This supposed to be a typo I got in my text.
The Lakotas,
Yeah.
that's the other team's leading scorer.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, we don't have a Lakotas.
You got to spell things out for David. So
You went to Sligo too?
So, last question. This is for the players. You guys playing under Coach Mo, new system, new coach there. You guys played under Coach Parra, who was in your face. So what's the change in, I guess, coaching styles that you see between Coach Parra, who's always yelling, stomping in your face, versus Coach Mo, who we don't know what he does quite yet, but we'll find out soon.
It's the same. They both get
Okay.
the game changed. Like Parr, he was more of a set kind of player. He was a mellow player. He didn't show much of energy except when you messed up. Coach Mo, he'd get on you when you do wrong, but he'll congratulate you when he see you on the right. So that balanced everything out. So.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thanks,